Hey, aloha everyone, it's Grandpa D. How you guys doing? Sorry I haven't made a video for a while. Funny story about that. Actually, I made one about 5 days ago. I actually had it set on photo instead of video. I took a picture of myself at the start and took a picture of myself at the stop. Spent 15 minutes talking to myself. Kind of like, I had a nice beard on, just like today. And I was reviewing the same thing when I review it today. So it's the second time shaving with this razor. I unboxed it and all that. The previous one, but it didn't take. Oh well. I'm a noob at this camera thing, and as you can tell, I don't edit very well, and I'm not still learning a lot. It's just kind of fun for me. Anyway, I am testing out a $9.99 razor on eBay from JE&Co. Company. It's a Filipino company. They manufacture the razor in China though. Alright, this is what it looks like. It's actually metal. It reminds me a little bit of like Mercure 34. And this is the way it kind of sounds. It's a three-piecer. Like so. 1, 2, 3. Always hard to get that up here. 1, 2, 3. Okay. And they also sent me a unique kind of razor too. I've never seen them before. So, let me try out this magical Swedish quality razor and like. I've already got one out, so you can see what the razor blade itself. Super platinum magical thing, kind of cool. Okay. Since I always use when I first time shaving with a razor, or second time in this case, I usually go with my shaving cream for sensitive skin. Alright, this one I like because it helps prevent the razor burn. And I'm doing a cold shave too, because I find that with cold shaves it just prevents a lot of the razor burn that I get, and it's a little safer for me. When I find the razor I like, I'll go hot shave. If I find it does this well, I'll do a hot shave next. Okay, pre-shave, I'm going to use this one here. And after shave, I'm probably going to use my wooden lather. I like the smell of this one, my wife doesn't. So I don't use it very often, but I decided I'm just gonna smell good for myself for the day. Take care of myself. Alright, let me put this razor in. Alright. So yeah, this is like a company I never heard of. I did a little research and found out it's like a Filipino company, and I wasn't thinking this would be such a nice looking razor so far, but it turned out to be really good quality. This one is fairly well made. I don't like it. It does have a little bit of overhang here and here that like my Mercure doesn't have so much. But the razor itself, when in balance, when it's cheaper razor blades, you gotta really make sure it didn't go in crooked or anything. But I don't think this is going to be a problem with this thing. Alright. So anyway, we made it through Hurricane Douglas. Didn't really rain or have much wind or anything. We got lucky last week. COVID is on the rise. We've had some over 100 days. Even today's pretty bad. Oh yeah, my brush I use is my synthetic. I use this guy here. Alright, it's a synthetic one. One of my favorites. When I do cold shaves, I usually use a synthetic. Sometimes I like the Badger too, but you know, I always feel bad about badgers losing their tails. But I do like the feel of a badger brush. Sorry, I can't talk. Yeah, we have a lot of people gathering at the beach and a lot of people spreading it around. We also have a lot of tourists that are breaking quarantine. Just a couple of days ago, we had a kid and his father break quarantine and they were positive too, and head to a shopping center. They got arrested and put into a little holding facility for 14 days. Honestly, if you're positive, quarantine yourself. Okay. Other news, my daughters, my son-in-law's side of the family, some of the cousins were exposed to COVID. My daughter's a little worried about my grandkids. I don't think they've been exposed, but you know, she's called me a few times worried about that kind of stuff. Yeah, well, I've always liked the shaving cream here. I think it's caffeine, but it's one of the one of the types that really does help me with the razor burn. When I get like an overly aggressive blade, it'll burn a lot right over here. It also sets up good too, but right here is where you get it at most of the time. I'm also working on doing some knife reviews too. I've got a knife collection. I'm going to be going over a few of them. I'm going to start with the Buck 110. That's the one that like my grandfather had. I got a Buck 112 when I was a grandson doom. So I figured I better do that one. So it's kind of like the granddaddy of all the other everyday carry knives, you know. Back in when I was a Boy Scout and back in the 70s and 60s, that was the knife everybody wanted. So I'll do my first knife review on that one. Just talk about it. And also my family has a unique background with buck. It started with my grandfather in World War II. He went to boot camp. He got drafted a little bit later. They were sending him to California to be deployed to Iwo Jima. At that particular time, there was a steel shortage. So even Army grunts were not getting all their equipment. Specifically, my grandfather didn't get his knife. He did get his father-in-law's trench knife from World War I, but he lost it someplace along the way. On the train/trucks going to California, he ended up in Kansas, and he met a blacksmith named Hoyt Buck. He was making knives for the servicemen. He met him at church, I believe. But anyway, Hoyt gave him a buck knife, one of the very first ones he made out of like spare parts, spikes and files and anything else they could find. And my grandfather carried it. Bud told him that knife might save his life one day, because you never know. So, sorry, when I get around here, I'd be careful. So, my grandfather ended up carrying that knife all the way to California. He jumped out of the truck as they were kind of late, and he actually forgot the damn knife in the truck. So he ran back in a hurry to get the damn thing. And when he jumped out of the truck the second time, he tripped in a pothole, shattered his kneecap. Well, the thing about the story is that his whole platoon or group of guys that he trained in boot camp went to Iwo Jima, and none of them survived, or at least none that he knows of. All of the friends he had died in Iwo Jima. So in a way, the knife did save his life. So the first pass with that is very close. It's a little bit more aggressive than the Mercure 34. Actually, for a closed-ended or closed comb razor, it's quite aggressive. It's pretty smooth. As you can tell, I didn't have much problem with it. Do my second pass here. I do enjoy this razor. For a $10 razor, it's a good starter one. If you want something a little bit more aggressive than the Mercure and don't want to spend a whole lot of money, I'd recommend this one. Only thing I don't like about it, it's made in China, and right now I'm not really happy with Chinese stuff and what's going on with China and so I try to avoid sending any money to China. Alright. But it's still an actual Filipino company, Anyway, so that's my story with the buck knife stuff and why I'll do the buck. So my grandfather always carried a buck. He got a Buck 110 when I was a kid. Would have liked to have that old buck he got from Hoyt. It's one of the few that he made from back in the day. Probably worth a lot of money, but he gave it to one of the other guys going because what knives were in his shoulders at the time. Hopefully maybe it saved some other guy's life. And I had one too. Mine was a 112 and I got a 110 too when I went into the Navy. My 110 was named Big Bertha. That thing was the most abused knife I've ever had. It cut through everything. Wires are all. It also was a hammer. I always forgot a hammer when I was up on the mast. So she got me through most of the Persian Gulf. But I was on the mast fixing a radar when she rolled off into the sea and Davy Jones got her. Bye bye, Big Bertha. But it was a nice one. I had a good opinion. So you know my review is going to be pretty positive for the buck. But you can watch it anyway when I do it. I still have to figure out how I'm going to set it up and all that. I don't have a lot of space in the house to be able to set up the camera. I don't have a good stand or anything like that. Also, could use a few more subscribers if you guys really like my videos. And please subscribe. You know, I like doing the grandpa talk a lot. That's the way I am. I don't really need a third pass with this because it is nice actually. I was really pleasantly surprised with this razor. Yeah, it was a little bit more aggressive than I'm used to for a closed-in razor, but it's pretty close shave, and had a few weepers here. Not unusual for me. Now for the test to see how if I got any damage to the skin. Other than right around here, I'm bleeding a bit. Nothing, which is amazing for me. Most of the time, a new razor with an unknown razor blade in it and actually hurts quite a bit for me. So it turned out pretty damn good. I probably shouldn't say damn. Oh well. Anyway, I would say it's a good razor for its price. If you want to try something out that's really cheap and a good quality razor, try this guy, JE&Co safety razor. Again, I have nothing to do with the company. I bought that with my own money, just playing around with the new razors and stuff, something to do while I'm in quarantine. And let's see, if my aftershave, let's get that wood shave up. I do like this stuff too. I wish my wife actually liked the smell of this. She likes Polo, but I don't want to put that on every damn day. That stuff costs a lot, $75 a little while. And I'm not going out or anything, so no need. I always like the wood smell. Reminds me of like a woodworking shop. Anyway, I hope everyone had a great day. If you like my videos, please subscribe. I could use it. Again, stay tuned for some knife reviews. And have a great day and stay safe, everyone.